Hello everyone, welcome. My name is MJ Pestridge. Welcome to another sim market review. Today we're looking at the de Havilland 6 Twin Otter Extended from Aerosoft, available on the sim market store for 35-24 euros. This is an airplane that came out in 2013, originally for FSX, and was soon released for the P3D program much later on, but is not available for P3D version 5 yet. This Aerosoft package only covers Microsoft FLIGHTSIM X to prepared version 4. Now, I am using it in version 5 to show not only does it work in version 5, but that you can physically see it does work. But the product itself is not yet updated for version 5, so there's no like PBR or anything like that. The Twin Otter is, I must say, it's truly an airliner that, or like a small plane airliner that does it all. Okay, there is no other aircraft in flight simulation that can land on basically any runway in the world. Most planes will have a limitation of like the length or the type of runway available. This can land on tarmac runways, mudflats, water, sand, snow, ice, and of course your normal sort of concrete runways. There is no other aircraft as well that does still continue to do regular scheduled flights in the real world in both the polar regions and airports at extreme altitudes and tropical islands and beaches in the UK. It still does all of that as well, and it's been in service for decades. In fact, the Twin Otter is one of the aircraft that I'll be looking at in my aviation series for my YouTube members coming this August. So don't underestimate the Twin Otter. It's not a large vehicle, you know, twin engine, general aviation, but its complexity is really like a small airliner. It's both cargo and passengers. And this Twin Otter extended package from Aerosoft shows the aircraft in its full complexity. In fact, you not only get the plane, you know, in 12 different models, okay? Well, say it's 11 models really, but if you bought the Antarctica package from Aerosoft as well, they give you the polar ski version of this plane included for free, so giving you a 12th model. It really is fantastic. Now, this particular version, as I say, is available for FSX, P3D, and it is remarkably done well. But it doesn't represent the best in the quality of modeling. The textures used for this plane is only 2K, and like I said, there's no PBR. But in Microsoft Flight Simulator, where it is also available, you get 8K textures, I believe, and full PBR. It looks a lot more visually better in Microsoft, but the systems are exactly the same. Here in P3D, it has complex systems, the best implementation of the turbine engines to date, and flight models are as accurate as possible, which were tested by several Twin Otter pilots themselves. The FS default, though, has got some systems lacking, and basically they've replaced those lacking systems with their own modules, making it fully functional. The aircraft comes equipped with skis, tundra tires, and floats, so there's literally no place in the world where you can't go with this plane. There's, like I said, versions for cargo, passengers. You get the 100 and the 300 models included, and different engines cover the entire range of this amazing aircraft, all for $35.24. Now, like, I think that's absolutely amazing of Aerosoft to include every livery they can, but not only that, every model, every version and variety of the Twin Otter. So right now we're waiting for PMDG to release their 737 in Microsoft, and they plan to release the 700 series in both cargo, passenger, and the BBJ variety, which is great. In P3D, they released the BBJ and the cargo editions as a separate package extra that you had to pay for on top of the base. But you did get the 600 to the 900 series as your base package. So in Aerosoft, have basically given you everything in one. So let's have a look at the flight deck, shall we? I don't know why the door is shutting, because I didn't actually instruct it to do that, but fair enough. So we're in a cold and dark situation, and everything here is set up with this configuration menu. So basically you can open the doors, close the doors, all with the click spot here, and a V basically means that it's done. Good green. I don't know why it's a V and not a tick or an X, but whatever. So we undo everything there, and all the doors now will be shut when that door shuts. There we go. You can set it up for cold and dark, or you can actually set it ready to fly. Now, the good thing about this checklist is you can have extra things here. Start locks installed on float versions. You can disable the panel view selector. You can disable the checklist when opening shifting views, or disable the checklist when changing camera views. But all of these colored icons down here are basically your checklist. So I don't know what this colored one is. Does nothing. Basically, it does tell you sort of here, V if checklist item is correctly set, X if checklist item is incorrectly set, and you basically go down the list. Now, as you can see, the control locks are not off, they are on. So in order to remove them, I right click that, it'll turn a green V, and it'll actually activate that in the menu, in the sim, sorry. So parking brakes are on, fire handles are in, emergency fuel switches are normal, emergency pumps are off, fuel selector is normal, and you basically just go through the checklist like this. And of course, when you come up to a red one, it hasn't been done. Like the cabin lighting and signs have not been set. So if we right click that, it automatically sets them for you. So that is a really handy tool to have. It's if you've never flown this plane before, like myself right now, you can basically do one of two things. You can get in the virtual cockpit, you can go through this entire checklist, or go back to the index, to the configuration section, and just click ready to fly the plane, and everything will just light up and go ready to go. Now, the default sounds are really good, but they can be replaced with alternate versions, which is a separate add-on that you purchase from SimMarket, and I'll put the link down to those. There's several ones, and there is one better than the others, and I'll put the better one linked in the bottom below. But there's about 3 different sound packs that have been made for this Twin Otter, probably because it's such a really good plane. But I mean, I would say the texturing on this is really good. You can see all the rivets. There's a lot of liveries. The tires are well done. Look at that. They're even angled, you know. This is a really good plane. Not only, this is effectively your plane between going from a single engine Cessna to a jet plane. This is kind of like what you'd fly in the middle of that, where you've got twin engines, you've got passengers or cargo. You can choose. As you can see, we've got a cargo version here. And it really, I say it really does. I think it's a really good package, really well done. The experienced simulator fan in you guys will be able to start the aircraft with all the checks, tests that are needed. But if you like you've just seen, you can use the interactive checklist or the just straight to get off and go. It's an ideal way to make complex aircraft usable for every different type of user. And if you wonder why they called it the Twin Otter Extended is because this is actually the third time they've modeled this aircraft for flight simulation. First time they made it a true high-end project, and then added more features, and this is the third iteration, I guess, of it coming out. So make sure you get the most up-to-date version. Anyway, we got a message here. Message says we're inside airspace. That's it. Okay. So right, let's take this puppy to the air, shall we? We've had a look at her. I mean, the flight deck is really, really good and really detailed. Out like here in the back, look at that. That's really good. Fire extinguisher, attention to detail everywhere. This would have passengers in if it was one of the passengers ones. Really, really good. Seat covers, really nicely detailed. Everything's really nice. Right, let's get up and go. Landing lights on. Let's take this puppy to the air. Park and brake off. Here we go. Now, one thing I must note, and I don't know if this is true, must be true of the original, but if you full throttle this thing, it will go fast in taxi mode. You kind of have to regulate the speed of your throttles by revving it up hard and then bringing it down to about 40%. Otherwise, you'll just jet off way too fast. Now, if that's true of the real plane, I don't know, but it happens with this one. So, excuse me, coming through. Let me just get past all these guys here. So, we're here in the Grand Canyon National Park, where we're going to take off here. We're going to fly towards the Grand Canyon and see what's what. So, flaps are set for takeoff. Trim is set. We're ready to get on this runway and take her to the air. This airport here is a freeware airport available on the RICO website, and it gives you a good rendition of the Grand Canyon that is an improvement over the default. Although not as good as the Nevada Grand Canyon from Mega Scenery Earth, and they will have a bit of a battle as they both try and show you both add-ons, so just be careful. You'll see that in a second anyway. Right, I'm going to put this altitude up to beyond 10,000 because I don't wish for that to be beeping at me. Right, we're on the runway. Here we go, boys. Let's take it to the air. As you can see, 60 FPS, VRAM's 4.7 out of 10. This plane is not a heavy hitter. If you have the Lukla from Aerosoft package, this plane is pretty much the only plane that is allowed to land at that runway because of the sloping hillside, and you can see me trying to attempt that landing in a new series I'm working on right now called Dangerous Approaches. Here we go, take it to the air, boys. Now, don't have to worry about the gear because the gear is static and set in, so there'll be no gear being brought up, but as we bring up the flaps, you can see the animation is really nice and smooth, fluid, and realistic to the model. Look at this. Right, let's... Grand Canyon is most likely behind us. Let's see... Yep, there it is. So we need to do a turn. So let's do that turn. Hey. Trim down a bit. Climbing nice. 8,000 feet. So there is an autopilot that you can set, but I haven't set that up at all. Although my transponder should be on. Ooh-wee. Whoa. Rock and roll. Alright. Trim down a bit. Look at that. Wow. We're going to fly over the Grand Canyon and see what's what. Set altitude. I guess that's for the autopilot, so we'll say 10,000 feet. It's a very, very nice plane, well modeled as well, and in the back it's got, in this particular one, a lot of cargo. Incidentally, oh, hang on, we're pitching up a bit. So it's let me know that I've hit my altitude of where I want to go, but obviously I haven't engaged the autopilot at all for it to do that, so... So it's a very accessible plane to fly. Really, I think the thing is that you can get in and just fly it if you've never flown it before. In all honesty, this is my first flight in this plane. Like, I have flown this plane before, but it's always been running from the runway, and I've never had to sort of get it going myself. So I mean, you could do so much with this plane. Cargo runs, you know, passenger runs. You could have so much fun in this plane. This is actually one of the planes that I'm going to be flying in my virtual pilot life series that will be starting soon, where I learn how to fly a plane basically through flight school and then get a career. And this is going to be one of the planes that I use probably the most to begin with, because it's got versatility. You can fly it anywhere in the world. You know, it's got 2 engines, it's got room for people, room for cargo, and it's a really great entry-level plane to learn how to fly with. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this sim market review. I want to say goodbye now, and catch me on the next sim market review where we look at the Lancaster bomber. Don't forget, I run a competition every month where I give €50 of sim market vouchers away. In order to be in with a chance to win, all you have to be is a subscriber on my channel. Leave a comment down below in any one of my P3D videos, and you will be the winner if I choose you. And I announce my winners at the end, last Friday of every month, during my Rate My Plate Away vlogs, where I go live on YouTube. And yeah. Alright, here we go. Let's land this puppy. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. This is Foxtrot Maverick 5 coming in for a final approach at Grand Canyon National Park Airport. Landing runway maybe 330. Here we go. Coming in. And we're going to stall out. So. And we're down. Boom. That's how you do that. Does that have reverse thrust? It does. It comes with reverse engine thrust. Beautiful. You can really stop on a dime. Beautiful. Flaps up. slap animation on that. Nice. Nice and steady and slow. Here we go, we're going to turn in here. Boom. Oh, yep, a lot of people waiting for us. What's going on here? What have we done? This is the fire. This ain't for us. This is the firehouse.